Mom, where are you? Masha's voice trembled in the phone, as if she were holding back tears. In the kitchen at Grandma's, Anna pushed away a plate with pie, frowning. What happened? Just leave the house right now, please, Anna froze. The noise of the gathering, the clink of glasses, Aunt Olya's laughter, Grandpa's loud voice bargaining over potatoes, suddenly became distant. She stood up without looking at her mother, who was pouring tea, and went out into the hallway. The warm July air hit her face when she opened the door. Masha was standing by the gate, clutching her little backpack. Her eyes were dry, but her gaze was heavy, like an adult's. What happened? Anna crouched in front of her daughter, trying to catch her eyes. Not here, Masha shook her head. Let's go. Grandma Nina's birthday had started as usual. In the cramped apartment on the outskirts of the Moscow region, it smelled of fried chicken and freshly brewed compote. The table was piled with bowls of Olivier salad, sausage sandwiches, and the obligatory Napoleon cake that Nina baked according to her mother's recipe. The guests, relatives, and a couple of neighbors discussed the weather, traffic jams, and how gasoline prices had risen. Anna, Nina's eldest daughter, sat in the corner, smiling when necessary, and refilling tea for her younger sister Olya, who kept getting distracted by her noisy toddlers. Anna was used to such gatherings. She had learned to be unobtrusive, not to argue, not to bring up old grudges. Her parents, Nina and Victor, loved everything to look familial. Smiles, toasts, no quarrels. But behind this facade, Anna always felt a chill. She was the eldest, the one on whom the family rested. From the age of 16, she had part-time jobs, giving half her salary for utilities and groceries. When younger Olya grew up, no one demanded such sacrifices from her. Let her study, live for herself, Nina would say. And Anna swallowed the resentment, convincing herself it was right. Now, at 32, Anna sat at the same table, but no longer the obedient girl. The divorce from Dmitri, her ex-husband, had drained her last strength. He was charming until he started drinking. Then came the shouts, threats, and once a plate smashed against the wall. Masha, then 7 years old, had huddled in the corner, and Anna realized it was time to leave. She packed her things, took her daughter, and returned to her parents. She thought it would be temporary. But temporary stretched into 2 years, and Dmitri, instead of disappearing from their lives, filed a lawsuit demanding that Masha live with him. Not because he loved his daughter, but to spite Anna. He knew how much she feared losing Masha. Anna started the car and looked at Masha. Masha was silent, staring out the window. They stopped at an abandoned kiosk in a vacant lot where shawarma used to be sold. Evening was falling, the sky turning pink, but it was cold in the car despite the heat. Now tell me. Anna turned to her daughter, trying to speak calmly. Masha pressed her lips together, then exhaled. I was in the bathroom. They didn't know I was there. Grandma, Grandpa, and Aunt Olya were talking about you. What were they saying? Anna felt her heart squeeze. That you're not coping? That I'd be better off with Dad? That they… Masha faltered. They're planning to plant something on you. Drugs, I think, so you'd lose the court case. Anna stared at her daughter in disbelief. Her parents, Grandma Nina, who cooked porridge for Masha every morning, Grandpa Victor, who fixed her bicycle, Olya, her younger sister, who annoyed with her selfishness but was still family. It didn't fit in her head, but Masha wasn't lying. Her eyes, serious and empty, told the truth. They said you should go back to your old job, Masha continued, to help them with money again. And if I live with Dad? You could. Anna gripped the steering wheel so hard her knuckles turned white. She remembered sending her parents half her salary for years, paying for their trip to Sochi, buying a new refrigerator when the old one broke. She had been their golden girl as long as she could pay. But when she divorced, lost her bank job, and switched to low-paid remote work, their attitude changed. Nina sighed over the electricity bill. Victor grumbled about gasoline. Olya hinted that Anna was taking up space in their 3-room apartment, where Olya lived with her husband and 2 children. I don't want to go back, Masha said quietly. Not to them, not to Dad. We won't, Anna replied, her voice firm, though everything inside her trembled. I promise. They drove to Sergei, Anna's friend from school. Sergey was the type who always helped without asking unnecessary questions. Tall, slightly stooped, with perpetual stubble, and a habit of joking in any situation. He opened the door to his one-room apartment in a panel block, and, seeing Anna with Masha, just nodded. "Come in. The kettle just boiled." Masha lay down on the couch, clutching her backpack, while Anna told Sergey everything. He listened without interrupting, only frowning when she got to the drug-planting plan. "This isn't just meanness, Anya. This is a crime," he said, pouring tea. "You need a lawyer." "I know," Anna sighed. "But first, I need to understand how I missed this." She didn't sleep that night, staring at the ceiling. Masha snored beside her, and Anna replayed every day spent in her parents' house. How her mom frowned when Masha laughed too loudly. How her dad grumbled that Anna no longer carried the family like before. How Olya took her kids to play without inviting Masha. The signs were there, but Anna had ignored them, clinging to the illusion of family. In the morning, she took Masha to school, trying to look like a normal mom. Smile, braids, sandwich in the backpack. But at the gates, her parents were waiting. Nina, in a floral dress, clutched her bag. Victor stood beside her, frowning like before a trip to the traffic police. "Where were you?" Nina asked sharply. "We called all night." "I know where I was," Anna replied, looking her mother in the eyes. "And I know what you discussed in the kitchen." Nina paled but quickly composed herself. "That's nonsense. Masha got something mixed up. We were just saying it's hard for you. That, Dmitri." "Enough," Anna cut her off. She had heard about the drugs. "About your plan to give her to Dmitri so I'd become your cash cow again." Victor cleared his throat as if to say something, but stayed silent. Nina opened her mouth, closed it, then squeezed out. "You're complicating everything." "We wanted to help." "Help?" Anna laughed bitterly and briefly. "You wanted to sell my daughter for your garden beds and seaside trips? It's over." She turned and walked away, her hands shaking. In that moment, she knew there was no going back. The following weeks were like running through a minefield. Anna found a lawyer, Svetlana, a woman with a sharp gaze and a habit of speaking directly. Svetlana listened to the story and shook her head. "If your parents and sister testify for Dmitri in court, it'll be tough. They're close relatives. Their words carry weight. But if Masha tells the truth, it could change everything." Anna nodded, but inside everything clenched. Masha had already been through too much. Her father's shouts, the move, the coldness in Grandma's house. And now she'd have to speak in court, looking at Dmitri, who could be charming when he wanted. Anna knew his game. He filed the suit not for Masha, but to hurt her, to make her feel helpless. Masha, learning about the court, didn't cry. She just asked, "If I tell how it was with Dad, will they leave me with you?" "Yes," Anna answered, swallowing a lump in her throat. "I'll do everything to make it so. Then I'll tell." Masha nodded and returned to her album, where she drew a bear mother protecting her cub from snakes. Anna looked at her daughter and felt a mix of pride and pain. Masha was stronger than she had been at that age, but Anna vowed to herself she wouldn't let anyone take that strength from her daughter.